Mackenzie Boyd struggles to control his rage in upcoming Emmerdale scenes and decides to confront Dr Caitlin Todd after learning that she sexually assaulted Charity Dingle. During Thursday's episode, Charity finally opened up to Mack about the secrets she had been hiding. She first admitted that she had slept with Ross Barton before revealing the truth surrounding baby Leyla. Mack was left stunned by the revelations and was even more shocked when Charity explained that there was still more she needed to confess. She then revealed that Dr. Todd had assaulted her and had been using the truth about Leyla to blackmail her. Although Mack was hurt and angry over the lies and secrecy connected to the surrogacy, he recognized that Charity desperately needed his support. Wanting to help her, he urged Charity to report Todd to the police, believing it could strengthen the case against her. In upcoming episodes, Mack finds it difficult to cope with everything he has learned from Charity. Consumed by emotion and frustration, he lashes out and attempts to start a fight with Kev Townsend. Kev, however, seems to have changed and refuses to fight back. Instead, he encourages Mack to explain what is troubling him. Feeling completely overwhelmed, Mack eventually admits that Charity had been unfaithful. Kev then advises him to seek revenge, but to do so in a smart and calculated manner. Determined to confront the woman responsible, Mack travels to Sheffield, where Dr. Todd is now employed. At the hospital, Mack comes face to face with Todd, who strongly denies assaulting Charity. Todd tries to manipulate Mack with a series of lies and a seemingly remorseful attitude, but he refuses to believe her. As his anger intensifies, Mack promises that he will do everything possible to see her sent to prison for what she did to Charity. When security staff move in, Mack warns Todd that he will kill her if she ever harms Charity again. Since it has already been revealed that Caitlin Todd will soon leave the show, and with a mystery attack set to shake the village, Mack may have made a serious mistake by issuing such a threat. Later in the week, more trouble arises when police officers arrive wanting to question Mack. Did Todd report Mack to the authorities, or has someone attacked Todd, making her the latest victim? Questions continue to surround Serena and her true intentions in the Emmerdale village. The newcomer could soon create major problems after it becomes clear that she has a connection to the late John Sugden. John lost his life during a confrontation with his sister Victoria in the woods when he attempted to kill her. However, the police believe that John died by suicide and remain unaware of what really happened. Following the incident, Victoria was forced to leave the village because the fear of being exposed as John's killer became overwhelming. As a result, the arrival of someone connected to the dead former medic could spell serious trouble. Serena first appeared as a compassionate stranger, emerging unexpectedly to comfort Charity and offer her support during a difficult moment. But what is Serena's real motive for helping someone she barely knows? And could Charity now be in danger after revealing her personal struggles to a complete stranger? There is clearly something suspicious about Serena. Sarah also senses that something is not quite right when Serena reveals that she knows a great deal about Robert Sugden's late brother, John. Exactly how much information does Serena have? Despite her concerns, Sarah decides to help Serena after discovering that she has been living out of her car and offers her a place to stay. However, both Sarah and Charity may eventually regret welcoming Serena into their lives, unless her decision to move in is part of a much bigger plan. The big question remains, what does Serena really want? Emmerdale viewers watched Lewis finally uncover a long-hidden family secret after Ross's attempt to protect him went badly wrong. Ross had hoped to help his half-brother, but events took an unexpected turn when Lewis learned the truth about his biological father. After Kev returned to the village during the dramatic kidnapping saga involving a valuable diamond, he eventually decided it was time to tell Lewis the truth himself. During the hour-long episode, Ross used Kev as a bargaining tool in an effort to free Lewis from kidnapper Kylie. Kylie had previously sent Ross a ransom demand, insisting that Lewis's father return her precious diamond necklace, known as Penny. Investigating the situation led Ross to discover that Kev was actually Lewis's real dad and that he still possessed the necklace. After knocking Kev unconscious, Ross took him to meet Kylie, where the strange circumstances were finally explained. Kylie revealed that she and Kev had once been in a relationship, and that the diamond had been created from the ashes of their beloved cat, Penny. Once Lewis had been safely rescued, Ross attempted to shield him from further pain by claiming responsibility for stealing the necklace. Despite Ross's determination to keep him away, Kev later arrived at Lewis's home unexpectedly, determined to reveal the truth. Ross begged him to remain silent, but Kev ignored his pleas. After dramatically breaking into a rendition of Father and Son, he finally confessed that he was Lewis's biological father. Kev then tried to convince Lewis to give him a chance, explaining that he had turned his life around and wanted to build a father-son relationship. However, Lewis was deeply hurt by years of absence and refused to accept him into his life. Making his feelings perfectly clear, Lewis rejected Kev and insisted that he wanted nothing to do with him, prompting Ross to order Kev to leave. Clearly upset by the revelation, Lewis later told Ross and Vinny that he needed some time on his own. Meanwhile, Kev had no intention of disappearing. Later at the Woolpack, Nicola criticized him for dropping such life-changing news on Lewis and then walking away. Surprisingly, Kev agreed with her criticism and announced that instead of leaving, he had decided to remain in the village. Kane Dingle is left stunned in upcoming Emmerdale scenes when a shocking revelation involving Graham Foster comes to light, sparking an emotional confrontation. Kyle Winchester believed he had found a way to deal with the overwhelming emotions caused by his father's cancer diagnosis. Unfortunately, his coping mechanism involved setting fires around Emmerdale Farm. For weeks, the farm had been plagued by a mysterious arsonist whose identity remained a secret. Initially, many suspected that Moira was being deliberately targeted. Later, Robert Sugden became convinced that he was the intended victim. At one point, Cami Hadik even found himself under suspicion after being seen carrying a petrol can. However, the real culprit was Kyle all along. Struggling with feelings of rejection from Kane and terrified of losing his father, he turned to destructive behavior. In one particularly emotional act, Kyle set fire to the car he and Kane had been restoring together after feeling repeatedly pushed away by his dad. Graham unexpectedly witnessed Kyle starting one of the fires and attempted to guide him onto a better path. He encouraged the teenager to open up about his feelings and even arranged for him to join the cadets in the hope it would provide some direction. Wanting to show his support, Graham gave Kyle a watch as a symbol of his faith in him, recognizing just how lost and vulnerable the youngster had become. Sadly, Kyle later destroyed the gift by smashing it against a wall. Although Graham believed he had managed to help Kyle, the situation worsened once Kane learned that his cancer had not gone away, leading to more fires being started. Despite everything that has happened, Kane remains completely unaware of Kyle's actions. That is about to change when Lydia accidentally reveals that Kyle is in possession of Graham's watch. The revelation leaves Kane puzzled, as he cannot understand why Graham and Kyle would have any connection. Eventually, Graham decides that he can no longer keep Kyle's secret and feels compelled to tell Kane the truth about the fires. Kane is horrified by the confession, but what troubles him most is not the arson itself. Instead, he is devastated that Kyle chose to confide in someone else rather than speaking to him. Some may see Kane's reaction as self-centered, especially as it only reinforces Kyle's feelings of loneliness and isolation. With his pride wounded, Kane confronts his son directly. The question is, will Kyle finally admit the truth? Emmerdale is broadcast on ITV1 every weekday evening at 8 p.m. and is also available to watch on ITVX.